the door behind me. Hello, y'all. Welcome back. All right, welcome back to the channel. Okay, very good. Hey, Jackson, we're doing all the things. All right, we're going to be budgeting today, and I'm using my YouTube streaming platform, so I will not be able to share the budget sheet because it will not let me share. There is no sharing feature. I mean, there's a sharing feature, but it will not let me share. So anywho, welcome back, y'all. All right, we're going to jump in very quickly, and I'm going to switch screens because I want to go ahead and put all my numbers in. So I'm going to go ahead and switch. Hey, ma'am, thank you for joining me. So let me switch screens just so I can put my numbers in. But we got YouTube income today. And now last month, we talked about me earning like $56 more or something like that, because that was how much I made on a different platform. Well, I think we made it. Hey, ma'am, good to see everybody. Oh, very good. I'm glad to see you. So we did make the extra $50 or $58, whatever it was we needed to make in order to not worry so much about this other platform. We did make it. Now, here's some highlights for us, right? So we hit 15 million views. I think earlier in the month, we hit 15 million views. And that was like, I mean, in 10 years, that's a milestone. 11 years, that's a milestone for me. Some people hit 15 million views in a year. That's not my life. It's not what but that's just kind of where I was. So I was excited about that. I am trying. So remember last time we talked about, let me just get some housekeeping stuff done and then we'll jump into the budget. We talked about me trying the StreamYard. Y'all, when I look at the advanced price for StreamYard, in order to be able to multiple stream, like I can stream to this place, that place, whatever, it is $89 a month. And I am not paying $89 a month for any platform. No, ma'am, I'm not. Restream only cost me $19, but the truth is I am not able to stream from my computers. I don't know why. It doesn't matter which computer I use. It still tells me I'm dropping my internet, which I'm not dropping my internet. So unfortunately, I am going to just have to do one platform and totally disconnect from that unless I can find something else that will work, that will let me do multiple platforms for a reasonable price. $88.99 to do advanced, which is what you need for multiple streams, is just not something that I can sustain. I just can't do it. And I don't think that I need to do. I think I just need to streamline into one place and call it a day, right? Just everything into one and call it a day. Unless, and Jackson will maybe have to help me figure this out. How can I stream through OBS? That's what we do at the church. But I don't have an external camera. I'm using my camera here.
I'll come back to you.
Thank you. He's going to follow up. Jackson's going to follow up, and it's going to be amazing. Okay, so that is going to be off the table for right now. I do have the free version is up, but again, it will only let me do one platform at a time. And then I tried to connect my YouTube, and it will not connect. It says, whoops, there's a problem with YouTube. So it's not letting me do my YouTube anyway, which is what I need the majority of the time. So for some reason, it's not doing what it needs to do. And I don't know. It let me connect my Facebook and it let me connect my Instagram, but it will not let me connect my YouTube. Will you turn that down, honey? All right. So that was that. And what else was I supposed to do? I don't remember, but we did get YouTube income in today, which was helpful. Hey, Tiff, good to see everybody. I'm glad y'all are here. So I got two different deposits come in, right? I got $373.08. That came from YouTube. Then I got $36.88. That came from Facebook. And so that gave us a total income coming in at $409.96. Now that was really good. And we would be ahead of the game. but let me tell you how people will try to get you, right? So I went to get my eyes checked. On the 18th. So when I went, they had in there that I was going for my contact lens appointment. So typically, I don't remember paying more than $35 for my contact lens appointment when I was getting way back. Y'all, that appointment cost me $125 just for the exam. So, of course, my regular exam is covered, plus I get materials. So the lady's doing all the things, and she's like, well, do you want the year? I'm like, no, I don't want that, because I don't even know if these contact lenses are going to work. So she says, well, we'll do 3 months. I'm thinking she's doing 3 months. Oh, no, she did 6 months. When she got done, it was $302. And there was no way to disconnect or to say, no, I don't want it, because she had already rang it up. I'm like, you got to be kidding me right now. So $302, which when I typically go get my eyes done and I get my glasses, I pay $10. That's it. I'm at $300, and I am a stickler for not overpaying for stuff, not paying for stuff you don't need. And here I am at $302. And of course, I only had my credit card to pay. And so I had to absorb those costs. Will not do that again. I wear multifocal glasses and I have multifocal contact lenses. These are better than the ones when I tried it several years ago, but I still have a little bit of trouble reading small print and reading up close. So I will never do this again. I went to pick them up today and I thought it was going to be 3 months. It's 6 months worth. And I'm thinking, ma'am, why? But I didn't want to argue because people look at you really crazy. Of course, the lady was looking at me really crazy, like I was going to be angry black woman on her or something. I don't know what her problem was, but it's like, you got to be kidding me right now. So let me not even cause a scene up in this place and just go on about my business. So I'm going to put in, so I have to absorb that $302. Had I not had that expense, and I was thinking, okay, I'm going to take some money from YouTube to kind of pay off some stuff. And then I was going to be able to refund 3 months worth of the contact lenses, but she got them in one box. So 6 months together instead of a 3-month supply. No, she got 6 months in one box. So you can't take half the box out and half the box. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. She was like, oh, well, you can refund one box. So I keep one eye and not the other eye. Y'all. So I was thinking, okay, I'll get $165 back. That'll go back to my credit card. That way I won't have to pay for that. And it did not work out that way. So the whole $302 I have to cover, and I'm having to cover it this way. So I'm putting in $409.96. That was between YouTube and Facebook. So that gives me a grand total of $6,025.46. So again, we have child support still coming in. I have my monthly payroll, plus I got 2 bonuses this month. So that's not typical. Then I got 2 reimbursements from gas. So expenses, what's today? 21. Today's the 21st. So let me put in those expenses. We didn't have a ton of expenses, but we did have some. So today is Monday, and I'm going to scroll on down until I get to, put y'all over here. I'm going to scroll down. Tithe was $21. Offering was, no, tithe was 41. Offering was 21. And then I have to pay taxes. So in order for me to pay my tax bill at the end of the year or get my taxes done, whatever, I take out 15% and I put it into an account. And so that was $62. So my taxes, which I'm never really sure what it's going to be because I'm not real sure how much money I'm going to make. That was $62. And I went ahead and already transferred that over to my Capital One 360 because that's where that money is. Once I did that, then I was able to go in and figure out, okay, $115 went to my business account. So I'm going to go down to where I have a business expense, and that's covering Restream, my website, that's covering Google Meet, couple things that I use just for business. So that ended up being $100. I did $100 into that business account. Then I had to pay off the $302. So I actually went and paid $285. That doesn't cover all of it, but it does give me it gives me a big chunk of that $302 paid. Now, that gives me a total of $509 that I spent today, but that payment was only $409, right? I had an extra $100 in my checking account. I had some money running in there, and I wanted to make sure that I covered everything. So I had like $258 left. $100 I went towards the glasses, the contacts. And then actually, I went to the doctor on Friday, and she gave me another prescription that I had to get filled. And my insurance will not cover it. And so I ended up having to do self-pay, which cost me $99. And so what I did was I put in my information, and then my insurance information. And if the insurance doesn't pay, then they will debit your card. And so it didn't pay because I saw the thing come out today. That was on Friday, but I saw the charge come out today, which means they have approved the prescription, but the insurance won't pay. The good part about that is I will be able to use my flexible spending account in January. So Jackson gets his tooth filled, his cavity, and then I'll be able to use my flexible spending account to pay for the prescription moving forward. So that gave us a grand total of $5,686.24, leaving us $339.24, which still is not a true number. I'm trying to figure out where I'm missing some money from. So let me go back and look. And I'm looking at my credit card. I'm almost $1,000 this month just because of Christmas and all the things. That cannot happen moving forward. So my mortgage came out as $1,150. The electrics is $121.88. The water bill was $78.69. The cell phone was $45. The internet was $55. Moving down. Vanguard was $75. My Health Wage Gym was $29. Jackson's was $30. Taxes was $62. High school sinking fund was $50. Oh, I had to buy something for Jackson, and I could not get the transfer to go over. And so I got to pay myself some money back out of that account. I needed to buy him something, but I could not. Walmart was acting weird, and I could not transfer that money back. But I'll need to do that. Netflix was $19.20. Groceries was $151. Now I'm proud of myself. I did not go over in the grocery store this month. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Glory. Amen. Monthly preps was $50. Entertaining for the holiday party. That's probably where I spent a lot more money, and I just didn't write it in. It's probably about $200 more somewhere in that holiday entertaining all the things, because we spent quite a bit on that ice cream bar. We spent a lot of money there, and I'm sure I just did not write that down. That's the only place that I can figure out where it came from. Personal care, $100. The dentist was why do I have money there? The doctor. Okay. No, I'm sorry. That was the doctor. So that was the $99 was for my prescription. And I had to I'm going to a new doctor. So I actually had to, and I probably should have put those contacts in as the $302, but that I put in a different category for my credit card. But I can't spend any more money from there. Christmas for Jackson was $100. My personal credit card was $804. 300 of that was just the contacts. I knew the other money, but 300 of that 800 was just the contacts. And had I known that it was going to be that going into it, I would have just stuck with my glasses. But I wanted to give it a try because I don't always want to wear my glasses. I always end up in my glasses, but I want to have options. But I don't want to have $302 worth of options. And that was just for 6 months. That wasn't even for the full year. When I get my glasses, they give me a $150 allowance, and whatever that pays for, that pays for. And then I've been fortunate enough to do some reviews that give me glasses, right? So they've given me 4 pairs of glasses, and I've lost a pair. Y'all, I lost the cutest pair of glasses. They were clear with brown sides that I wore to the banquet, and I cannot find my glasses anywhere. I don't know where they are. I don't know. I can't find them. I swear I can't. Oh, let me see. Okay. I'm missing all of y'all. I'm sorry. Okay. Da-da. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate. I try. Hey y'all. I'm sorry. I did not have my chat going. I apologize, y'all. But I try to be as diligent as I can. But moving forward into 2026, we've got to make some major changes. I will not be able to stick to my budget, to stick to my savings goals, not my budget, my savings goals, unless I make some major changes. And that starts with no spending. Gas is $255.17. My car insurance, I did 2 payments, so that ended up being $340. For tithe, $888. For offering, $465. Christmas money, I put kids money over, so that was $400, and then my business expenses was $100. So I did not do any saving this month. I knew I wouldn't have it. But if I didn't have that $800 worth of Christmas stuff and miscellaneous and all the middleman things in there, I would be better to the saving. So moving forward in 2026, we're not going to have any of that. Now, here's some things that I was thinking about today and actually praying about. So I do offering and I do tithe. In 26, that specific ministry that I offer to, I am asking the Lord if I need to continue offering there, or can I shift some of that to a different place? If I shift it, that's going to free up a little bit of money that I can then put into the savings. I'm still going to be doing offering, but it will not be that amount, if that makes any sense. So my prayer is that I'm released from this one thing to be able to give, to put to the savings. The Lord may say no and just keep going, Shakima, trust me, which if that's what he says, that's what it is. And so my thought was, if I can just take the $75 that I need out of that account to do what I need to do, that's going to free up about $250 to put towards savings. If I do that over 12 months, that's a little bit over $2,500, right? It's about $3,000. It's about $3,000 if I do that over the 12-month period. We'll see what the Lord says. What else was I going to tell y'all? What else was I going to say? So no random spending. My pest control spray thing comes up next month. So I know I'm going to have to pay for that. No problem. I have some in savings. I don't have everything I need, but I'll be able to take care of it. No problem. What else? Because I know as soon as I log off here, I'll be done thought of something else. So thank you all so much. Those of you who sent condolences for the passing of my grandmother. My dad's mom, my grandmother passed away. What's today? Today is Monday. She passed away Saturday morning. My dad called me Friday night. No, he called me Friday at school. I was at work and he said, "Hey, I just want to let you know that your grandmother's in the hospital. I'm on my way down there. And I'm going to call you back later tonight to let you know the details in the room and all the things." And I said, "Well, that's fine. I can go on Sunday because I'll just skip church. I had an event to do Saturday night, so I knew I couldn't do it. So I said, I'll just leave early Sunday morning. I'll head down there." And I said, "Well, how long has she been in the hospital?" And he said, "Since Sunday." So since last Sunday. First problem, first issue. And I said, "Well, nobody called me." He was like, "Oh, well, that's my bad. That's on me. I should have called." Yes, you should have. I said, "I've been in my office all week. I didn't have kids this week. I could have easily taken a sick day." Bubba, will you come, please? One of y'all come, please. I need the charger for this new computer. I said, "I really could have gone down there to be with her. Could have took some sick time. I didn't have students this week." So he said, "Well, let me get down there and see, and then I'll call you back." So he calls me back. He says, "Hey, they've upgraded her to ICU, and we are going to they're coming in for her dialysis, and she's got some blood clots, so I'm not going to stay." And I said, "Well, that's fine. I'm still going to leave Sunday morning early and I'll be there, to be whatever she needs." Because my cousin does what she needs, but my cousin works. And so I was on break and I knew I would be able to help. Um, I'm trying to get my kids to come bring me the charger before the computer dies. And so anyway, that all worked out the way it was supposed to work out. Well, yesterday morning, no, Saturday morning, I get a call about 7:50, 8 o'clock in the morning, and my dad says, "Your grandmother passed at 5 a.m. this morning." So him and my stepmom and my cousin Diamond, they were there. They got called and they were there at the hospital. So of course I am all to pieces. That's my grandmother. I'm the first granddaughter on that side of the family. So I'm the second grandchild, but the first granddaughter of that family. And my grandmother and I were close. I was telling my sister earlier, she's not my sister by birth, she's my church sister, but I love her the same. I was telling her, I said, my mother had me, but my grandparents raised me. So that was my mom's mom and dad, and my dad's mom and dad raised me. That's just how it was. That's how life was. I grew up that way, and that was it. So when I found out my grandmother had passed, it was like, oh my goodness. I wasn't prepared for my grandmother to pass away, even though she had been sick and she was older in her 80s, because I just seen her 2 weeks ago. Typically, when I go to my dad's on a fifth Sunday, I will go by the house, my grandma's house, to check on my grandma if she's available, if she's home, if she might be with her friend Miss Daisy, or she may not be at home. But if she's at home and I know she's there, I leave the church straight and go straight to my grandma's just to sit with her, whatever the case is. And so I had just saw her 2 weeks before, and it was good. And I knew I was going back at some point and I would see her. But to not be able to see my grandma was that was detrimental to me, because my grandma should not have died by herself. I don't think that people should pass away alone. I don't think that. I mean, if it's a tragedy thing, there's nothing you can do about that. But I don't believe that people should die without somebody being there. And of course, that was the case for my grandmother. And I really grieved that process. I grieved for her that way. But with that being said, they're about an hour and 45 minutes from me. So I still went yesterday, right? I went to church yesterday, and because they had not done any of the arrangement stuff. So I had to drive an hour and 45 minutes, and then I drove an hour and 45 minutes back. Now, the funeral is going to be on Saturday coming. That means I'm going to have to drive an hour and 45 minutes there and an hour and 45 minutes back. However, they are having viewing and visiting starting tomorrow night. Now, I can't leave my kids and just be gone like that. So for me, I may have to go I'm thinking about going Thursday. Thursday is Christmas Day. So I'm thinking about going on Christmas Day, staying for a good bit, and then coming back, and then going back on Saturday for the services and coming back. With all of that being said, there's gas back and forward, there's food to travel back and forward, all those types of things. And then typically I help officiate when my dad does any type of funerals, and I'm more than certain he's going to eulogize his mom. And so I needed a clergy dress because the dress I had, I've lost so much weight that it does not fit me anymore. And then I have two shirts. I have a jacket, but the skirt that I had doesn't fit me anymore. So I was like, I'm not going to just piecemeal it together. I'll just go on Amazon. So I went on Amazon. I picked out two dresses. One is a pencil skirt. One is a more flowy skirt, but they're both a clergy attire. And who knew you could buy clergy attire on Amazon? But child, listen, for what I need it for, it will work. So I did have to pay an expense for that. That was another $70 or so for the two different outfits. Why'd you get two? Because I'm not sure which one's going to fit, and I need to be able to have something to go for Saturday. I can always send one back with no problem. But here's what blessed me, right? So that's more money that has to come out because I'm going to drive to be in the funeral, be there with my family. And I'm going to drive backwards. Even if I have to drive every day, that's just what it is going to be. And with that being said, I'm not worrying about where's the money going to come from. The money's going to come. So early this morning, I didn't get up as early as I typically do. I just wanted to relax. I wanted to lay down a little while. I just needed my body to rest. And all of a sudden I start seeing my Venmo go off and my Cash App go off. And I'm like, what is going on? And I noticed that it's my tightest two women. And they're sending a little something here and a little something there. So I text a friend of mine and two of my friends. I said, one of you little mice has been busy because my Cash App and stuff is going off now. And it was honoring to me as their leader that somebody in the group would take their moments to send out to the group and say, hey, our leader has had a loss. Because every time there's a loss in the group, I'm there to help facilitate. I give my money. I don't mind. I don't care. It's going to be what it's going to be. But with that being said, enough came in from the ladies to be able to cover the two new dresses that I needed, to be able to cover gas money. And some of them put on there, this is for gas, or this is for food, or whatever the case is for the passing of your grandmother. So even though it's going to cost me an expense, the Lord was gracious to have stuff come in so that I'm still able to move without really having to tap my resources, which if that's what I got to do, is what I got to do. I don't argue over that. It is what it is. But I was just very blessed by those ladies to be able to see the need that I had at this moment in time and help fill that gap, because that's what I would have done for them. What's what I have done for them. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate. So right now, I do think I'm going to go down on Thursday. I'm going to get Jackson settled and all the things. We'll do all the stuff we need to do here. And then I think for sure I will try to head down Thursday for a couple hours. And then I will go down for sure Saturday morning to make sure that we are there to represent my family, my kids, because my kids will not be able to come, right? With them being so far across the country. That's just not a thing that they can do. And so it was a blessing to see that, which I did not plan for them to do that. I did not send out to anybody that my grandmother had passed. I just posted on the community tab because I knew I wouldn't be able to get as many videos out with all this happening and stuff. And so I was like, let me just put this out here, and then people would maybe give me grace without posting videos, because of course my grandmother's passed. I still have a couple of things I got to get out, and I will get those out. But for the most part, I'm just going with the flow of the family and that kind of thing. And there's a video coming out, you'll see, where we had some unexpected things take place. I don't want to share that, but you'll see that video coming up very soon. So anywho, all in all, the budget looks good. We are able to meet the bottom line. But moving into January, I have to have over and above the bottom line. 373 was what I got from YouTube this month. I need to have 400 next month. I don't need to be less than that. So I need to keep moving in forward progress to be able to make enough money to be able to sustain all of the things and trying to save $20,000 next year. That's a big feat. Here's what I know. Even if I don't save 20,000, but I save 2,000, that's 2,000 more than I had. I'm not lowballing myself. I'm not saying I can't do it. I'm saying I got to tighten it up and do all the things. Thank you so much, Miss Destiny. I appreciate that. I have to tighten it up and do all the things I need to do in order to be able to forward progress. I'm saving for a wedding. Am I married? No. Do I have a man? No. But am I believing the Lord? You better believe that. But before December 31st, 2026, I'm claiming that in Jesus' name. So that's that. I'm also saving so that I'll have my 3 to 6 months worth of expenses if something were to happen crazy. Nope, we don't have to worry about the mortgage. The mortgage is taken care of. We already have that, no problem. So I'm moving in a direction, and I'm hopeful that in March, when I get my new mortgage statement, that we've made our escrow and my mortgage will go down. Remember, my mortgage went up almost $200 this year. For whatever reason, we didn't meet our escrow. So I'm prayerful that that will go down, which will give me an extra little bit to then sink to the savings, which is going to help in the long run. In addition to that, we'll be opening up the Poshmark closet, or whichever closet I'm going to be doing. I have pulled all the things, but I just haven't sat down to actually open up the account and get all the pictures taken, but I have pulled the clothes. So that was one thing that was really helpful. That's all done. So it's bits and pieces coming together as we can. The budget looks good. We're 10 days out from the end of the year. I think it's all going to work out well. I get an extra $200 bonus in January. That's going to help go straight to the savings. So it's all going to do what it needs to do. It's just you do have times in your life when things just don't go according to plan. It is what it is. You learn to roll with the punches. You learn to stop, drop, and roll, honey. Tuck and roll and keep on going. And God will provide. He always does. And I'm very thankful for that. Again, I did not ask any of those ladies to bless me. And people would say, well, I don't have a lot. Well, you give what you can. And if you can't do anything, then you can at least give your condolences. That does tell people that you're concerned for them or whatever the case is. And we move on with life, right? This may not be your moment to give, but maybe the next time. And I've been like that before. I wanted to do it, but didn't have as much as I thought, but I could scrape out a few dollars here or there. I've given away my grocery money, but that's me. That's my conviction. I got groceries. I'm not giving away grocery money and I can't feed my kids. We got groceries. So I didn't need to shop this week. Perfectly fine. No problem. And there that is. Jackson and I will not, we are having Christmas will be a little different this year than it has been in the past. And so, okay, very good. That I just got a message from the pharmacy that's going to ship out my prescription because it's coming from a pharmacy. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. Let me just get this and see what it's going to do for me. My doctor and I, we had a real good conversation about a few concerns I have as I move into my latter years. And so I will see what this does, and then I'll talk a little bit more about this. Not giving health advice or medical advice, just telling you my journey. So anywho, y'all, I'm done for the night. I'm tired. My body's just physically exhausted. I got a little sad today thinking about my grandma. Saturday is going to be a hard day. I'm not going to claim that in Jesus' name. I know it's going to be a hard day for my family. And so as a minister of the gospel, I don't just get to go and sit with my family. I have to be on and be there to serve my family. And I figured for me, I'll have to grieve later, right? That'll be that grief process. That'll come for me later. That'll come for me when I'm in here, my kids are in bed and I can feel free to scream into my pillow or whatever the case is that we do, those of us who don't have anybody else that we can scream to. So I just figured I will grieve at some other point. I don't know that I will not have the luxury of grieving prior grieving during the services. That's just not where I live right now. And my dad, there are other things that I need to be focused on. So anywho, y'all, keep us in your prayers, please. That would be very helpful. We would appreciate that so very much. And be mindful of your budgets. Keep going back, keep looking, keep checking. Make sure you keep every receipt. Make sure you write everything down. We are talking about letter of the law in January and moving forward. We can't have any missed payments. I don't know where this money came from, whatever. We got to know, because I got to get on this savings journey. It is imperative that I save. My summer money is going to be a little bit different because I'll be able to chunk some of that out to pay sinking funds. And then I'll be able to chunk some of that out just to go straight to savings, which is going to be absolutely phenomenal. Typically, I have about $4,000 to deal with for the summer. It will double next year. I have about $8,000 to deal with because I'm having more pulled out, which is so helpful for us. So anywho, there it is. We do want to thank you all so much for stopping by. If you like the video, don't forget to thumbs it up. That just helps us get out into the algorithm, if the algorithm is going to pick us up. And so I appreciate that. We love you guys. If you have questions, drop them there in the chat or in the comments, and we'll chat back as much as we can. You guys, now they'll let you do a voice response. So I've tried to do a couple voice responses if I could. I might have been in a situation where I didn't have access at the time, but I've tried to voice chat back some of you, so you know that I'm personally out here answering. I'm answering any comments and stuff like that. Anywho, I love you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of this community and supporting me whichever way you do. We appreciate you all so much. We will see you guys next time. Thank y'all. I'll let you go. I'm probably not going to vlog on the funeral day, but I may come live or do something. I don't know. It just depends. But anywho, love y'all, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody. Thank y'all so much for stopping by.